Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I am here to work on Christmas ornaments with you guys. I did do one just to kind of play around, and I did this one on these little wood bells that I found at the dollar store. Sorry, I had to think about that for a minute. Yeah, so I got those at the dollar store, and I didn't really love this part, and I couldn't think of how on earth you would even cover it and make that look right. So I really just didn't worry about it. I just covered it entirely. And what I did was I used my Digi Letters to Santa, and I just took a piece of it, covered it. There's some doily that I got from Rachel at Roxy Creations. They're kind of a craft color, but I think you can find those other places. Just a little Merry Christmas from, why am I having so much trouble? Dreams, etc. I apologize. I don't know what happens when I turn on the camera. I'm dingy, but I'm not that dingy. There's just a little piece of that Florentine paper from Rachel as well, and then some cheesecloth back there, and a little piece of little tiny Tim Holtz music paper that comes in one of his like ephemera packs. And then I just stamped December 25th on there and put some rickrack. And on the back, I just have it covered because I wrote a little note on there and I didn't really feel like sharing it with everybody. So I used old book page. I added some tissue paper that I got from the dollar store and some sewing tissue. It just aged it and it looked really cool, and I just glued it down. I didn't decoupage it, but you totally could decoupage all over the whole thing if you wanted to do that. One tip that I will give you if you use the wood, I put it down on the paper, you know, glued it down, and then I just kind of tore the paper off because that edge of the wood is fairly sharp, so you know it tears pretty easily off, especially the old book page. And then if you just take a piece of sandpaper and just go along the edge, you know, all around like that, it gets off some of those little pieces that get straggly there. Because cutting around that with that thick edge, that's just a pain. And it usually comes out like choppy looking and weird, so the sanding really does help that a ton. So anyway, there's that one, and that was the first one, so I just you know, I wanted to try one first before I got too crazy. So and these ones I did on book page. I glued like 4 or 5 book pages together, and then like a ding dong, I just spritzed them with my coffee and they all came apart because duh, water. So my advice would be to coffee stain the pages first if you want them that way, but you really don't need to because you're going to end up covering a lot of it anyways. So I would just either do that first or just don't bother doing it, because once you cut them out and everything, then it just messes them up. I mean, I did get them all glued back together, but some of them aren't exactly perfectly lined up. And I got these from using cookie cutters. I have a bunch of plastic cookie cutters that really I've only ever used for crafts. I have never used them for cookies. I've used them for things like needle felting and I don't know, just all kinds of stuff, because they're just plastic. They're not the nice metal ones that cut through the dough really nice. So I just used them for that. This I just free-handed, you know, a little snowman here on the book page and cut it out. So I basically glued like 4 sheets of book page together first. You know, I tried to cover them pretty completely with glue, or at least like paint the glue on or something so that you get a good coating, because you really don't want gaps, you know, wherever your edges are, because then you'll just have to fix them later. And then I just, you know, either traced the cookie cutter or like I free-handed the heart. And this is old book page from Denise, that book she gave me that's really nice and brown, so that I didn't have to do anything to that. And same with this one. And then on these two I added the beautiful avocado dyed paper that Lori sent me. So thank you, Lori. I couldn't wait to play with that, so I did end up doing that. This one I took a paintbrush and I dipped it in white paint, and then I just kind of did that to make, you know, how it like gathers extra, and dipped it again on the edge. And then in some spots I just kind of did that sort of a thing. And then I did the whole spattering of it, and I just painted a little down there. I painted the whole back of this and kind of tapped all over it because this book was a dollar store book and it wasn't very nice. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I get that pre-80 covered up. So that's as far as I've gotten with this one. But I just want to show you, I did like a candy cane and a star and just all, and they're pretty darn sturdy. I mean, they were, the ones that are better actually are the ones that I didn't coffee dye, because that kind of made the page texture different. So these ones are actually really, you can hear, pretty tough. So like I said, if you're going to coffee dye them, do it first and then glue them together. Be smarter than me, because that's always a good plan. All right, so I have it this far, so I cut out some other things and I did a few other things, and I'm sorry I didn't do it on video, but sometimes I need to try stuff before I put it on video, just because I don't want to make, I mean, I've been fiddling with this for probably 2 hours, so I don't think you guys wanted to watch all of that. So what I've done is, this is one of the Dreams Etc. images. I shrunk it down from the size that it was supposed to be. I think I put my printer to the 5x7 size for that page, and so this is what I got. I punched a hole like right here at her neck, and I used, let me see, where is it? This little tiny punch that I have, and I think it's a 1/4 inch punch or something like that. Anyway, it's just that little teeny tiny. It's not the big fat one that you use like to punch holes and stuff, because otherwise you'd have a big huge hole. So I just strung this fuzzy trim through that I got from Denise. Well, it's actually from Lori, but Denise is the one that has it, and she sent it wrapped around the avocado dyed paper. So thank you, Lori. I'm using that as well. I'm using the avocado dyed, or the pink one that she sent. And so I pushed it through that side, just glued it around like this, and then pushed the other end through. And what that does is it just gives you a nice clean edge so that you don't have the weird edges like poking out and stuff. And I did the same thing here. I punched a hole there, strung it through, just went over her shoulder and glued it down. So that is how I added the fur to her. And then I have a piece of my digi, so I'm going to go ahead and ink that, and we can put that down. And I hope this helps, and I'm going to do more of these ornament things, and I'll try to do more of it on camera. I just wanted to try some stuff today because I haven't done any of these. You know, this is all kind of new to me too. I mean, I've done ornaments in the past, but not these particular ones. So, and I always have to try new stuff, you know, can't do the same stuff. Get bored. So this is from my digi. This is a hanky that my mom embroidered on, and it is poinsettias, so that was a good thing to use because she's got her poinsettia right there, and it kind of looks nice to have a little red on this beautiful avocado dyed pink music paper. It really is very pretty. And I'm just sticking that right on there. And then I have some tulle, and this is just some pink tulle. I know it's really hard to tell, but it actually is pink. But white would work just as well, because obviously you can't even hardly tell. And I think I'm just going to kind of put it up near the top, but I'm going to put the glue more in the middle where the girl will be, because I don't want to see it through the tulle. Obviously, right? And this is just lace. And I think I actually want to tuck that under there a little bit. So you're just, you know, kind of making a scene on the middle of the tree or ornament, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be the tree. Just those are the cookie cutters I had. I kind of want to come out here even a little further. And then I'm going to put a little more glue. So that hopefully it will stay down. Because it wants to wiggle all around. Once I put her down, it'll stay. And I would suggest using like a liquid glue, because you know, this stuff has like dimension and fur and lace, and you know, that's just a lot for a glue stick to hold down. I mean, some probably could, but I just wouldn't want to try it on something that, you know, you could give as a gift or whatever. You don't want it all falling apart. And you could use dimensionals and make parts up higher than others. In fact, behind that Santa, I did use one dimensional just kind of in the middle of his body, just to give it a little bit of rise. But then his legs and everything are all glued down, but it just kind of adds a little bit of dimension to it. So. And she's going to lift a tiny bit just because she's got all that fur behind her. I love that fuzzy trim, it's so fun. And I've done that, you can do the same sort of thing with cotton balls. You just have to tear them apart, which completely freaks my daughter out. And so my son does it to her all the time on purpose. He'll like pull cotton balls apart, and you know, she hates that. It's a whole like texture thing for her. So yeah, that's his favorite torture of her, because he's a brother. That's what brothers do, I guess. I didn't have a brother, I have a sister. So, but I know that judging by my husband and his brother, they love to torment each other. So this is from Dreams, etc. as well. It just says a Christmas hello on it. I have paint all over my nails, so I apologize. And this is a cute little flower that my sister made me. Thanks, Megan. It's a little crocheted flower, and I think I want that kind of down here and this down here, and I'm going to put a little pearl in there. So we'll work on getting that glued down. Everything's rolling away, and I just glue these down. I'm trying to figure out which side. I think this is the back, because they seem to do fine. They're like thick enough that it's not a problem. Scooch it up just a little bit this way. I need a flat back pearl, and these are all junk on them. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Sorry, I do that all the time. I just jump right in and I don't really like say hey and what's up. Horrible about that. Get her done, you know, that's kind of my thing. Okay. And then I just tied this little bow out of silk ribbon. I'm just going to put a dot of glue there. And glue it kind of down here at the bottom. I want this to scoot a little, oopsie, this way. Because I really wanted that in the middle. Ah, everything's going everywhere. That's the problem. Like, it would be better probably to use hot glue, but I've discovered with hot glue, and really a lot of glues, but really hot glue, especially in attics and things where you store Christmas ornaments, it just makes the stuff pop off of the hot glue. So I don't love using hot glue for stuff like this, even though it is way faster and easier and probably would be much better for this camera thing. But if I'm going to give these away or put them in my shop or whatever, I want to make sure that they stay together. I don't want stuff falling apart on people, because that's not fun. Alright, and I'm just going to put the little A Christmas Hello up here. So this one is a little more obviously of a shabby chic sort of a look than the other one. That was more of a traditional rustic Santa sort of thing. Alright, so there's that, and after it dries we might do a little something more with the back. But I just think those are kind of fun. I want her head to come down a little more. Because she's already got the dimension with the fur. Okay, so there's that one, and then I started this other one, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with this one, but I just backed it with this Christmas paper, and these we are going to have to cut because it's on the paper, so it doesn't have that nice kind of sharp edge. If you had a thinner paper, like an old book page, it probably would work just fine to do that same tearing thing, but because this is like more of a cardstock scrapbook paper, I don't want to do that. And this is the part that makes me crazy, is trying to get around these sort of edges where you got to get in. And I'm not very speedy on the cutting, so I apologize for that. I think my kids are home already. My daughter had an interview that she was going to. I thought it would take longer. So that's a little concerning. It was an interview of a teacher. It wasn't like a job interview or anything, but I thought it would take longer. So I hope it got done, because it needed to get done today. Alright. So there's that. Okay, hold on just a minute. I need to figure out what's going on. Okay, hi everybody, I'm back. So all is good. She got it done. So that's good. I was worried, but she said that it just didn't take very long. She's had to already interview one teacher, and so this was the second teacher, because the teacher who assigned this decided she wanted them to do more than one, so. And it's due Wednesday, so it's got to get done. Okay, so this is tissue paper, sorry. Just come back on and act like you know exactly what I'm doing. And then I just inked around the edge, punched a hole. So that's that paper that we just cut off. And that's the back. I just figure it's kind of nice to have a sort of plain back, or decorated, you know, in case it gets backwards on the Christmas tree, or package if you use them on a package. This one would be good on a package because you could still do the whole to from thing on there. So that would be good. So the way I did this is just glue stick. I mean, you know, we've all seen it, but in case you're new to it or whatever, it does work with a glue stick. Just kind of put it around wherever you think it might fall. I want to get as much of the flowers as I can. And I'm not crazy about the shininess of this particular tissue. I got this at the dollar store, but you know, you could use, like, Tim Holtz has beautiful tissues and stuff. I just don't have any, so I was like, I'm just going to use what I have. I'm not going to buy a whole bunch of stuff just to do a few little things, you know. But you definitely can get some really nice stuff, and if you have napkins that you can put on there, that's another great thing. Just don't have those either, so. It seems like the problem is I get stuff and then I start a new craft or something and don't have all the stuff for it. You know how that is? Because last year, or well, actually last year I was just still doing this more paper stuff, but the year before that I was doing needle felting, like Christmas ornaments. So I have felt and all that stuff for that. It just takes a while to collect stuff. Sorry, I'm slow with this. These are not my best scissors either. My other ones are downstairs. Try to get it with this a little bit better. And I'm going to sand around the edge too, just to kind of smooth it out so it doesn't look so messy. It's just hard when there's an edge that you gotta come right up to. Right, and then I'm going to use a little sewing tissue just to cover up some of that, because I haven't really entirely read it, but I know that there's bad words in there and I don't want them on a Christmas ornament. Probably not nice. It was a lot of texting and stuff in this book, which I haven't read a book with all that in it. Probably wouldn't much interest me. I'm just putting this over it because, you know, it kind of makes it look more vintagey. Let's see if I can tear this because it is sewing tissue and it's even thinner than regular tissue. And I don't mind if I get some like that. Tear this like this. And it's all stuck to my fingers. Okay. Let me glue this down a little bit better, and then I will sand it. Put it on here and stop getting it on my mat, huh? It doesn't want to come off of there. Okay. I'm not that worried if it, you know, it kind of tore and stuff. I don't care. So I just take the sandpaper and go around the edge, get rid of all the little extra bits. It's not glued right there either. I'm just going to go right over the top of it like this. Because it's a little porous, so it'll go through there. It's not totally attached there either. Sort of, when you do this, it's a lot like doing Mod Podge. But if you prefer, do Mod Podge, you know, if you like that better. I just don't want to wait for all that to dry. This is not stuck either. And that's probably a part of my coffee dyeing fiasco. Alright, I'm going to wipe my fingers off. Okay. Oh, goodness. Drives me nutty. All right. Okay, we can punch our hole again, because I can see right where it is. Alright, now we need to figure out what to put on there. I have like this little tree, but I think I want to use, I started putting some of this that I've been cutting out, because I sit and cut it out at night, in this little box. That one's cute, but it's probably too big. There's another one, smaller size. Kind of like the old picture on that particular background, or like this is cute too with the Santa. That Santa's good too. These are all Dreams, etc. little things. But you could use Tim Holtz, you could, I mean, there's a million things that you could use. She's too big. It's like, I like them to be just a little bit bigger. I think I just like those kids the best. So we're gonna go with that. And we can add some of these kind of things. Christmas spirit, that's cute. Maybe that piece of paper. I'm going to, one of my girlfriends is going to come over this weekend and we're going to make Christmas ornaments, so I've been getting stuff together for that, and this is kind of my run on it to see how it goes. She's actually the wife of one of my husband's high school friends, so they're all going to go out and hang out, and we're going to hang out and make ornaments. Good way to add a little more of a sepia tone to your old pictures, or old, you know, ephemera. I like that. The Christmas spirit is cute. Would be better on that side, huh? Feels like everything's on that side, but I kind of want to keep that flower a little bit there. And then some kind of fabric or something. Oh, this old lace is kind of cool. This is off of a old table runner or something. I've been using it to put around some of those little mini Christmas books, journals. This needs a little right there. It doesn't want to. Yeah, I like that kind of a look there. Okay, I think I got it all. And I'm going to use the liquid again. Put this all in the back here. And I think I'll put this piece down with the, no, this way. Hang on just a sec. Okay, I'm back. I had a thought, so I had to see if I could find something. And I did, so I'll show you in just a minute. I don't know if I want a little piece of this under there. I gotta try it. It's that ribbon that Denise sent. It looks like candy cane. So cute. That. Okay, yeah, I like that. So I'm going to stick that down. And I'm going to put a little more glue up here. I'm going to stick this lace. Ah, drives me crazy. And then I have to put a little more glue here. I know. I can tell. This isn't going to want to go down great. I'm actually going to use a little bit of this under there. See all the junk that sticks to my hands. It's going to stick on this now. Just think it needs a little lift in here so that it doesn't look really weird. Because there's like a lift in the lace right there, so it's a little dimensional that way. Then we can squeeze in the price little tag. It's not going to be able to go over that. I just totally covered up that flower after I said I didn't want to do that. Well, you know how it is sometimes. This is tissue that I've just sewn, sewing tissue, and turned into a ruffle, you know, like Rachel was showing. And I just cut glue all over that. I need to save my dry little, what are they called? Wet wipes. One of those would fit on there. Probably just telling me to stop now, right? Too big. I don't know. I gotta think on that. I do want to do this though. So I'm just punching a hole right here at the bottom of the bell there. And I might have to use the bigger one. I thought I was going to want the little one, but got some red jingle bells. I think the big one's definitely going to work better. These are just big jump rings that were my daughter's, but you know, you can get jump rings loads of places. Just make sure you open them this way, not pulling them apart that way, because then they just won't go back together right. So if you put them on this way, it works better. So there's the little bell on there. I don't know. I think that might work, but let me see. This would be kind of fun. This is just this actually came off of that stuff that Denise sent from Lori. Thank you, Lori. Oh my gosh, come on. Wow, how hard could it be, right? Really hard, apparently. And there's another one. Alright, so we're just going to put this through. Actually, I think I'm going to do it this way, because obviously if you want to put a hook on it or hang it on a tree, you want the opening, not like when we do tags and it just sticks through. You're trying to tie the knot at the bottom with the two, fringy parts up at the top. This is more like you want a spot to hang over the tree. So bring that knot up to the top, and you have the little opening. Yeah, I think it needs that. You can tell me if you guys think that was good or bad in the comments. Too much or it's okay. I just feel like it kind of needs something there, so it's going there. And I got these last year, I think, at Hobby Lobby, those big kind of paper poinsettias. I'm sure you can find loads of that stuff now. So there's those. I never did poke a hole in this one, I think, because I was so worried about it drying. Let me see what I got for that. I wonder if one of these would work, because that would look kind of cool. No, it's not going to work. It's too fat. Lace. It's all too creamy. Well, I don't know. I'll find something to string through there. Probably some of that, the pink that I used right there, which I don't know where it's at right at this moment, so I won't make you guys wait. But I'll probably just put a piece of that pink silk in there. So there's that. So anyway, I hope you guys have fun with that idea, and if you do it, I'd love to see pictures of it and see how you guys did it. So if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. We'll chat later. Bye-bye now.